The jury is adjourning right about now at 4:30, a little bit over an hour after getting the case. But they're doing so not before selecting a foreman and asking the judge for some more highlighters and pens. The real work starts tomorrow. 14.5 weeks after the jury was first seated in Michael Madigan's federal bribery and racketeering trial, his fate and that of his co-defendant Mike McLean is now in their hands. 8 women and 4 men, including a nurse, a woman who works at a Goodwill donation center, and the manager for Aramark Food Company. Former federal prosecutor Chris Hotaling saying they may start by taking an initial poll.
They're not allowed to talk about the case until they begin deliberations. So even though they've been together for 4 months, they really haven't had an opportunity to talk amongst themselves where each person feels the case is.
The road to this day has been anything but straightforward. Court proceedings have gone weeks longer than expected and included, to everyone's surprise, the testimony of the former Illinois House Speaker himself, a highly risky move.
It comes down to whether or not they believe him. Because they heard 3 months of all these recordings and the government's version of what those meant. And then they, on the other hand, have 3 or 4 days of testimony where he's saying it's 100% the opposite. How do you resolve it?
Assistant U.S. Attorney Amarjit Bachu got one last dig in during his rebuttal today, calling Madigan a liar, mocking his attempt to distance himself from his co-defendant Mike McLean, a former lobbyist, close friend and confidant of the then Speaker, who was widely known to frequently work out of the Speaker's offices while in Springfield. You really think, asked Bachu, that Michael Madigan's office was a public toilet where people could just come and park themselves?
Everyone in that courtroom, right, they've done their job. They've done everything that they can do. And now you just kind of hand over your baby to 12 people and let them decide it.
Ironically, the man selected to be the foreman is someone who, back during jury selection in October, made it clear he did not want to serve on the jury. Now, the big question is, of course, how long deliberations will take. Rule of thumb is that it is usually 1 day per week of deliberations, and while some legal observers say that is not likely, they do estimate it could be at least a week. Live at the Dirksen Federal Building, I'm Michelle Gallardo, ABC 7 Eyewitness News. Rob and Judy, back to you.
All right, Michelle, thank you. Michelle has been covering this case for us from the very beginning. Now, as soon as there is a verdict in this case, we will bring it to you live here on ABC 7. You'll also be able to track our live blog from the courtroom and see all of our coverage on our news app, website, and wherever you stream.
Watch breaking news on YouTube. Subscribe to ABC 7 Chicago Eyewitness News.